Hi, everybody. It's episode 800, or Jesus, 588 of PodQuest.
Hey.
Somebody is still sick.
Yeah, sick and a little tired. It's Wednesday, November 19th, 2025. I am Chris with Muse Druten
Hello.
and Walnut,
Yeah, I'm here.
and we're all here. And it's Wednesday.
It's 2 days before PAX. Well, when you're listening to this, it's like 12 hours before PAX, depending on what time it's 24, between 24 and 12 hours before PAX, depending on when you're listening to it.
If you're listening when it airs.
When it comes out. Look, there's too much time travel to figure all that out. I'm just assuming y'all listen to it the day it comes out. Like, that's all I'm saying.
Right?
When else would you listen to the show? When else would you listen to the show that we talk weekly about potentially, usually, generally, current events?
Are they current events?
Sometimes, usually, like
somewhat
current, current-ish.
Like the 2004 movie Miracle?
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's not the full current events, but like, I mean, Hazbin Hotel, the finale of season 2 was today, so like,
I didn't even know there was a season 2.
Current. It started a couple weeks ago.
I mean, I never watched season 1s.
It's worth a watch, but we'll get into that.
Hey, you said that last time. I still don't believe you.
I mean, you haven't watched. I said it was worth a watch, and you just didn't watch it, so you should watch it.
I don't believe
seeing is believing.
Is it?
Maybe.
Well, what's on the agenda?
On the agenda, we all watched the 2004 film Miracle, about the Miracle on Ice, the, what was it, 1980s?
Specifically, 1980 Olympic hockey team.
Hockey, U.S. hockey team. I played Date Everything and continued some more of Expedition 33. Cobb, it seems like you beat Legend ZA. As previously stated, I watched season 2 of Hazbin Hotel, and Cobb, you watched the rest of the seasons, or the finales of the seasons of Wednesday, season 2, and Always Murders in the Building, season 5. Is that really what the title is? Only Murders in the Building. Isn't it Only Murders?
You're right. Yeah. Okay. Only Murders in the Building. Sorry. Yes. Yeah, that was a typo. I did that very early this morning. But yeah, it was the back half of Wednesday season 2. Netflix did their split thing.
Yeah.
And then the entirety of Only Murders in the Building season 5.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So, what'd you guys think of Miracle?
I liked it.
Yeah.
Like,
I very much enjoyed it.
I knew of that whole thing. But like didn't really know like anything about it beyond that. Like I knew that like at that point most US team sports that were like also popular professional sports, the Olympic teams were always just like college kids and amateurs.
I mean, at that point the Olympics had a hard rule that you had to be an amateur.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it was a hard rule. I thought it was just the US team.
Nope.
No, it was a hard rule. You had to be an amateur.
The Russians very much skirted by like saying their hockey team that was just professional hockey players, that was all they did, were like part of the army.
Oh, right. Yeah, that seems like a Russian thing. So, well, like a Soviet era Russian thing specifically.
Yeah.
But yeah, because like I mean, like you had this was the thing where like the actual like underdogs won, but then you have like when they did lift that rule and the pros could play, that's where you get like the dream team in the NBA and America just like trouncing everybody else because at the time we had all the best basketball players.
He straight up says at the end, ever since they lifted that, America has not won.
Yeah, the U.S. won. I mean, the hockey one.
They said as soon as they lifted that, they haven't won hockey at least yet. They haven't been a dream team for hockey since the 1980s.
Look at the NHL teams. 90% of them are Canadians and Europeans. There are very few American hockey players.
It's like 90% Canadians, like 9% Americans, 1% Europeans.
Yeah,
I thought there were more Europeans than that.
Nah. I mean, there's a lot more than there used to be, but it's still like...
I think it's a lot of the names
like
that I reckon.
15-5, but yeah.
I think it's because a lot of the names that like stand out are definitely like European names.
Yes, that's also the thing.
Like Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Like, that dude is not American or Canadian.
Oh, right. You're not going to know, is like Chris Stewart. Is he American? Is he Canadian? I don't know. Whatever. He's from North America somewhere.
Yeah. I just saw Jaromir Jagr is still like playing.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, He
I don't
like
know that he's in
owns
the
a team over.
NHL, but
No, he's
like,
over in the Czech Republic.
okay, but still, the
Or
fact that that dude is like 50 and still putting on skates,
yeah,
good for him. Good for him. But
But
yeah,
back on Miracle.
yeah. What did you think of it, Rich?
I enjoyed it. This was not my first time seeing it. I don't know when I watched it. It might have been in college. Um, I could have swore we watched it, like I said, when we picked it. I could have swore we watched it for a book club. But like I don't remember. But I enjoyed it. It's a really good story. They do a lot of good in the storytelling. Like if you know the story of the Miracle on Ice, if you know the United States is going to win, but they still build up that tension to get you excited when the United States scores and does something good, especially during the last game. Um,
Yeah.
my biggest comment or critique on this movie is everyone looked so much alike that it was sometimes, especially when they were playing in games, hard to tell who the fuck was who.
yeah, I agree. I can
Yeah.
totally see that.
Like
Yeah,
they all looked alike, and then half of them, I swear, or at least a few of them, looked like the dude from The Bear who was only like 9 at the time this movie was made. So like, it's obviously not him, but yeah, I think it's a really good movie. It has some great storytelling. I would love to know like exactly the dynamics between like how much they embellished and how much is actual legit dynamics between the like the true story and what was storytelling and stuff like that. But it's an exciting film, and like it made me at one point. I tweeted this, or not tweeted. I blue skied this. I skied this. Um, it made me sad at one point because I wish I could be as proud as my country as the people in the movie were back in the 80s. Like, I wish I could be that proud of my country right
Yeah.
now. But like it also like it makes me wish that the Olympics really mattered anymore, because they don't. You don't like when they come around, like you don't really hear about them. No one really talks about them. I'm sure like some sports fans and whatnot, but like this was like a big deal. But it's because of the geopolitical climate of the time and what all the Soviet Union was doing to, was it Afghanistan, and invading them and whatnot, I believe.
Yeah.
Like they were like, oh, we need to, like, this meant more to the people than it actually was. And like I wish the Olympics were that good, were like that big and people cared that much. But like you watch the Summer Olympics and United States takes pretty much every medal. So it's kind of like pointless to watch anymore.
It's also just like there are really only a handful of those sports that really like anyone wants to watch unless you are actually in those sports.
Yeah, they don't do a lot of like it's mostly like track and field sports and stuff like that. Like they do have the actually the Summer Olympics have a decent number of competitive head-to-head sports nowadays. Like they do have, I mean, it's volleyball, but like they've got volleyball, they've got basketball. Actually that may just be it. Like volleyball, basketball,
Softball.
Handball.
handball, yeah. Handball. Not
Yeah.
even baseball, because you got the World Baseball Classic. So you can't do baseball.
Well, I
Like,
mean,
Isn't
baseball and lacrosse are coming back in 2028, at least
okay.
for 1 year.
are they?
Yep. It's making me very
Isn't-
tempted to go to the 2028 Olympics.
Those are that's in
LA.
in LA, yeah. Oh God, no. Don't do that.
Yeah, that sounds like a
Traffic's
miserable place
already
to be.
terrible in LA. Like you don't want to go to the Olympics in LA you don't want to go to LA when there's a big event like that going on for 3 weeks, a month, whatever it is. But yeah, I like the movie does a lot of good, showing a good message of like the underdog story and like teaching you about like the climate of the time and everything. Like I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of joy watching the movie, and like I was worried that I wasn't going to like it, just because when I sat down to watch it yesterday, I had a pretty killer headache that like was sitting with me most of the day. But like the headache was mostly from sitting at my PC and being right next to my ring cam for most of the day. So it like kind of subsided, and I was fine. But yeah, it's a good movie. It's a really good movie, and I suggest anybody go watch it because whether you like sports movies or not, I think this movie is a good movie to watch.
Yeah, they did a good job with it, and like it was a
Yeah.
good cast. I did see that one of the players, the actor, was actually the son of the actual player.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's
That's
cool.
cool.
I didn't catch
Yeah.
that. I didn't realize that they were doing like a pseudo "Where Are They Now" as they were running the credits at the end, so I missed like the first 2 or 3 frames of that.
So I don't know that was in the credits. It was actually like me like looking up people as we were watching the movie to see like
mhm,
if they had done anything else, like and like looking up some of the actual players too.
yeah.
Um,
But like it did make me laugh that most of the team fell into just real estate bros.
yeah,
If you
they're all
watched
like
that,
financial people.
yeah, most of them they fell into being like real estate developers and shit like that. And I'm like, oh great, so they're all rich people now.
Yeah,
Most of them.
which
But
is
yeah, it was
opposite of most Olympic people because they make jack
yeah,
shit off of that stuff.
yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I loved it. I had a good time watching it, and yeah, everyone should watch it. It's a good movie. It's a very good movie.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It was one of those where like it could have actually been incredibly boring, but I think there was like
Mhm.
enough there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like and you can obviously tell that it's based on a true story because the big match wasn't even the finals. It
Mhm.
was the semifinals was the big match, which is just like man, which that's one thing I didn't realize that it was the semifinals that they beat Russia or the Soviet Union. I thought it was they beat them for gold. I didn't
Nope.
realize they beat them to get to the gold medal match.
Yep.
I mean,
Um,
technically, they did beat them for the gold. It was just there was one
yeah.
more game to go.
Well, yeah,
You know,
but like
it's like in the original Pokemon game. You beat Lance, you think that you are the new Pokemon League champion, and he's like, "That's what I would be telling you if some other kid hadn't just beaten him."
yeah. Um, and of course you see in the lineup that I believe Russia won bronze. There's no way they weren't going to at least get bronze in that.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's just it was a great storytelling. I enjoyed it.
because Drew, you would actually probably know this for sure. Um, Olympics hockey isn't single elimination, right? It's like point based.
No, well, I mean, Olympic stuff changes a lot of the time, but normally how it goes is, and I was looking into it while watching last night. It's still kind of the same way now, but then it was you have a group stage where you play all the other teams in your group once, and then the top two teams in each group moved on to essentially single elimination tournament, where that's why when the U.S. beat Russia, that put them into the gold medal game against Finland, who would beat Sweden in the other game.
Right.
And then the losers played for the second or for the bronze.
Yeah, because I also remember during that first game, I guess that was against Sweden, maybe they had said something along the lines of, if America doesn't tie or win, it's going to be real hard for them to make a comeback. So yeah, but I figured it wasn't like a single elimination thing, but I also wasn't sure if it like mutated as the games went. Like
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it goes from a a 5-game regular season to a elimination playoff bracket after.
yeah, because they definitely play a lot of games.
I mean, I
Let's say
think it was.
for how long the movie was, I'm surprised that like it really wasn't that many like on ice like hockey games.
Mhm.
Like it really did focus on like the team kind of like preparing and all the kind of like drama around it and the coach obviously.
Mhm.
But yeah, good movie, worth watching. Rich, I believe it is your pick now.
It is my pick. Hold on. I just wanted to see. So I've been struggling trying to figure out what to pick. I've got a couple of ideas. We just did a based on true story movie, but I'm considering doing another one. One of the two of the three are based on true stories. And then the last one, I kind of have a potentially another like possible book club topic for. So like I don't know if I want to do that one or not. So like I'm gonna workshop this with you for the potentially new book club topic for not next, but down the line. It's recent sequels of old movies. So, for instance, the idea for this movie would be Happy Gilmore 2.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Something like that. Something like a sequel to a movie. So, like, the only other movie I have in mind of that topic would be Independence Day Resurgence.
Well, Blade Runner 2042.
Blade Runner 2042. There we go. So, like, we could fill
I don't
that
think
in if
that wasn't the name.
But
Was it?
yeah, what I think it was
Something like that.
But yeah, like we could do that. Could be a
2049.
whole. That could be a whole book club topic. So if that's a topic you guys are interested in to do, then we'll skip Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah, that one actually seems like it could be cool because yeah, you have the
Okay.
Blade Runner sequel. There's it. I mean, technically, it like if you think about it, the newest Indiana Jones movie is a sequel to an old movie because it was still
Yes.
16 years between Crystal Skull and it.
Yeah, I guess you could. And I don't know if Crystal Skull is still considered canon. So yeah, you could consider
It
that
is.
one. There's a couple of movies, but okay. So we'll skip Happy Gilmore 2. So my favorite sports movie is Remember the Titans. It's
It's a good
fantastic sports. I believe that's based on it's a biopic. But the other
Yeah.
one, I'm sure we've all seen that a million times. The other one I'm thinking is one none of us have probably seen is the Gran Turismo movie,
I
Which is-
have not seen that.
which is getting like IMDb is at a 7.1, Rotten Tomatoes says 65. It's not terrible reviews. But the Gran Turismo movie is based on a true story where they get someone who was really good at the Gran Turismo game and train them to race in GT races. I don't know. I don't know how they do or whatever, but like those are the two I'm thinking of. I feel like we should do Gran Turismo because I feel like we've all seen Remember the Titans at least 4 times in our life.
I mean, yes, I've
Like-
definitely seen Remember the Titans a bunch of times.
I've definitely seen it.
Yeah.
And I've
So
definitely never seen the Gran Turismo movie.
Yeah,
Well, the
and
Gran Turismo
looks like
movie-
it's on Hulu.
Gran Turismo came out 2 years ago, so it's very new.
I keep
so
getting
yeah,
that confused with the
Gr-
other shitty Need for Speed.
Need for Speed. Yeah. No, we're not going to do that one. We're not doing
Wait, this
video
one
game movies, even though
this
this
one
is
has
technically
David
kind of a video-
Harbour, Orlando Bloom.
Yeah,
Movie's got some people in it.
it's
Two
got
people
it's
to
got
be
a.
specific.
I mean, it's got Jamon Hansu.
Oh yeah,
Which-
that guy.
I know. I've seen him. I like. If you see
He's
him,
in all
you'll
sorts
know
of stuff.
who he is.
He was in
Yeah.
the first Guardians movie at the beginning.
Yeah, like it's got a decent cast. So yeah, let's do that one. That's a movie I've actually been wanting to watch too. So yeah, let's do it. Gran Turismo is on Hulu. Or probably Disney. It says Disney Plus as well on. If
Yeah,
it's
well,
on
so
Hulu,
they're
it's most
basically
likely
all
on
the
Disney
same now.
Plus. Yeah. So yeah, it's on Hulu, Disney Plus, all that shit. So let's do that one.
All right, and then do you want to talk about Date Everyone or Expedition 33 first?
Let's. I mean, date everyone. I date everything.
Oh,
you,
yeah,
you
same
wrote
difference.
wrong. You wrote wrong. No, it's not same difference. Because I'm not dating a single person in that show. In that game. I'm dating things. So I fell in love with a wall. Okay, and mostly all he says is wall, because he's a wall, and it's amazing. But yeah, so let's do date everything. I only have about 2 hours on that because like I said, I was dealing with a headache yesterday. And it's a fun, silly, tongue-in-cheek dating sim where you get these magical glasses that are like powered through AI, and you can throughout the day talk to things in your house. And there's like roughly, I believe, 100 dateable things. Everything is a voiceover. Everything has voice lines, and like they have a huge cast of voice actors. Like to name a few, like I know Sungwon Cho, Matthew Mercer, Ben Starr, who was the main dude from the last Final Fantasy game. I believe Brendan Lee Mulligan's in it, from what I've
I
heard.
believe so.
And like there's at least 100 voice actors in this, or I'd say at least 75 voice actors. I don't know if they double dipped. I don't think they did. But at least 100 voice actors in this, and it's just like it's all just silly, fun, tongue in cheek. Like explore your house and talk to different things in your house. And so you can go. One of the things I talked to were my stairs. Her name was Stella, and she's an elderly woman. She's older, and she's trying to pull you into a pyramid scheme. And you're sitting there just, oh, honey, the whole time, trying to tell her she's being scammed when she's not. Or when she doesn't get it, she doesn't understand. Or one of my favorites to talk to is Maggie, the magnifying glass, who she's trying to solve mysteries around the house. And you can talk to her, and she'll have you talk to other things around the house. And she can give you ROOMERS, rumors of who else you can talk to throughout the house, and you can figure out like different things. Like I talked to Hoove, my vacuum cleaner, Hoover. And then there's I believe it's Ben Starr voices Dorian the door. And as you go throughout the house, you can actually talk to, like, you have like a bunch of doors in your house. You can talk to any of the doors. They all turn into Dorian. And like he'll have different dialogue depending on where you talk to him at. And it's just like, it's all dialogue options. It's all just picking what you want to say to each one. And like, if you form a friendship, or if you form either a friendship, a hatred, or a love for each of them, you increase stats, which then will increase your choice, your options of what you can say to certain people throughout, or certain objects throughout the house. And you don't date them, but you love them. You find love with them, and so you can love as many things as you want in your house. Even a couch. JD Vance, you got this? So like, yeah, it's just a fun, silly game. I have so many clips of me just reacting to an oh my god, I can't believe they said that, with some of the like the sexual innuendos and stuff that they had. There is Luna, which is their video game system, that when you talk to them the first time, they actually roleplay you through like playing a game with Luna. And then the second time you talk to them, they don't remember you because they turned off afterwards and the game reset, and I guess it didn't save or something. I don't know. So then like the next time you talk to her, she gives you a word that you can say to her where she'll believe anything you say from the future on. And so you have to keep talking to them to form relationships. You can only talk to each object once a day. You can only talk to 5 objects a day. There's an underlying background story that doesn't really fucking matter because I'm just sitting here trying to meet all of the things I can date. I have there's the books. If you talk to the books, their name is Lyric, and they are a very knowledgeable bookwormy person or object. However, their dream is to write a book, but they've never written a book because they can't write because they're a fucking book. So your dates and talking to them is talking through the books that they want to write. So the last time I spoke to them, we talked through writing a noir detective novel. And so you talk to them and they will tell you what to write, and then you write, you're ghostwriting for them basically, since they can't write because they are books. There's a bunch of other things I haven't even talked to yet. There's a piano, there's a ship in a bottle. I know that there's supposed to be like a pile of board games, which I believe is Brennan Lee Mulligan. There's supposed to be some D&D die that's Matt Mercer. I haven't found those yet. I was looking all over for them. Sungwon Cho, he voices Existential Dread. And so if you go and like stand at a certain spot in the house and just stare at the wall and activate the glasses, you unlock your Existential Dread to talk to. There's like a shadow demon you can talk to. I've seen other people play it. You can glitch the game and end up talking to the game and the credits and shit like that too. Like it's just, it gets incredibly meta and incredibly silly, and it's just because Expedition 33 can be so fucking heavy. I was like, I need like once a week outside of like I need to cleanser. Like I need a palate cleanser. So like I'm not always going to be playing Date Everything, but like Date Everything was one of the redemption games that I had for the Pride Month, and I'm still working through to get through all of them. And so it was recently on sale, and I was like, I'll pick it up and like every other week or once a week or something like that, I'll play it, and we'll see how it goes. And yeah, it's great. It's silly. Like Cobb, I think you would enjoy it. It's like it's all dialogue and it's all just sitting there listening to them talk and just laughing and making either like there's one that I immediately hated, and the first dialogue option you can have with them is "Wow, I hate you," and that ends the conversation, and your relationship goes to hate with them immediately. And they are the lamp. You talk to Lux the lamp, and they are an influencer. They're like yeah, they're like an influencer type person who like beauty and lifestyle influencer, and I hate them. I hate them so much, but like I want to branch out their story, so I didn't click that option as of wow, I hate you, because I saw somebody else do it. And it's like, oh, you're just that's their story's over. Like you hate them, the story's over. But yeah, there's I haven't talked to the thermostat yet. I haven't talked to the water heater. You can talk to the hamper. You can talk to your wine rack. I don't know, man. There's so many different things you can talk to. But my favorite was you can go up and talk to the wall, and it's just this big buff guy. Like he looks like he's in Greek, like a Greek toga type, like, but he doesn't have it over the shoulder. It's just a loincloth, and all he says is wall. And you have a bunch of options, and one of your options is just saying wall back to him. And the first dialogue option I picked wall, and then I picked wall, and he says I love you. So I fell in love with a wall because I spoke his language. It's
Wow.
great. And then talking to Maggie, you can then, one of the mysteries is trying to figure out, somebody spread a rumor that there was a counterfeit object in the house. And one of the people you can talk to is Wallace the Wall. And you go talk to him with Maggie, and he's just wall, and she's like, I don't know what I expected here. Let's get going. It's like, well, yeah, I think I should have known that. Yeah, it's great. It's a nice palate cleanser. It's an enjoyable
It sounds
game.
like one of those games.
Yeah. But yeah, it's on sale right now on Steam for another few days, I think. So if you want something silly and cute to play, check out Date Everything.
Real quick,
Go ahead.
Cobb, what do you think Brennan Lee Mulligan's character name is?
I don't know who Brennan Lee Mulligan is.
I mean, he is board games.
What would his name be? I haven't met him yet, so I don't know what his name would be.
Yeah, I have no idea, and I honestly have no idea who he.
I mean, he's
a comedian. 20. Yeah, he's a comedian. Dimension 20. He's not in your zeitgeist. What's his name, Drew?
It's Parker Bradley. Because Milton.
Oh, that's good.
Milton Bradley and Parker Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so one of the people that I had to talk to, I was so confused. And this is why I talked to the Stairs. Their name was Stepford. Stairs, right? No, Stella. I don't know where they get Stella and Stairs from. I don't. So I'm looking all over the place, and I go to my rumors and I read it, and it's like, oh, you should go to the gym room and check out the awards you get. And I'm like, awards? And I go, and Stepford is the trophies. Trophy, Stepford trophy, trophy wife, Stepford wives.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, it took me so long to figure that out.
They really do kind of go the long way for some of these, huh?
Yeah. Like, I'm sure when I figure out why Stella's named Stella and they're the Stairs, it'll hit the same. But, like, then they're very, like, they hit it right on the nose with fucking Dorian. Dorian is the door. Hoov is the Hoover vacuum. I can't. Oh, your bed's name is Betty. 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 The bed. Like, it's, some of them are very, like, on the nose, and then some of them are a little bit more tongue in cheek. Yeah, but yeah, it's great. It's the fridge, I believe's name is Yeti or something like that, and it's an abominable Yeti, snowman. Oh yeah, I'm excited to just react more to whatever the hell else I'm gonna find in my house. And apparently so the attic is locked off at the beginning. You need to find the keys to the attic of your own fucking house. And apparently there's stuff there's a crawl space that you can get into at some point, and your attic is haunted. So I'm excited to talk to potentially a ghost in my haunted attic. I can't wait. But yeah, it's great. It's great. It's definitely like a silly uh slice of life, little bit of a tongue-in-cheek palate cleanser from Expedition 33. Which Cobb, how far in Expedition 33 have you gotten?
Um,
Did you
where did I leave
clear
off?
chapter 1?
I think so.
Are you able to swim with the giant guy?
No.
So you didn't clear chapter 1.
Yeah, I want to say I was like 8 hours in or so before Game
So,
Pass ran out.
oh, okay. So you haven't gotten anywhere into it then.
No,
Yeah,
because
so
I only had it for the month for Game Pass
yeah.
with Game Pass.
I made it through
Um,
chapter 1.
So I met the dude that can sell you stuff.
Have you met Eskie?
I
The really big guy that you can ride on.
I don't think
No.
so.
So
I
if
got
you
the like redheaded girl, the one that like was like
yeah,
your friend at the beginning of the game. I found
male,
her.
yeah.
Yeah, I found her. She's on my team now. I cleared out that section that was like that underwater
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
Went into the next section, got to like the village of the people that kind of look like Kuroks
Yeah. They're
that wear like the
paintbrushes.
masks and all.
They're
Um,
paintbrushes.
oh, is that what they are?
Yes.
It's been 10 months. Like I don't remember what a lot of this stuff was. But yeah, I got to
Okay,
like
so
their village, and I fought like the big guy that he's like the guardian, I want to say, of their village, maybe.
um well, I mean there's a tournament you do in the village to unlock the next character. So if you haven't unlocked the next character, you
No,
haven't
because
done the tournament.
I left off at the village. Like I don't think I actually
Yeah.
went into it. I did like the.
Yeah,
I
you
feel like
have
there was
to
like a guardian guy you fight before you actually get into.
yeah, you have to fight they have to fight their strongest like machine that they made and whatnot.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I'm well past you then. Still only
listen,
like still only just past chapter 1. But
I think
chapter
that's one of those
1,
games where chapter one's really long and then chapter two's short.
I mean there's at least three or more chapters. I don't know how many chapters, but there's at least more than 3 chapters. Because there's things I can't even access yet until later, and I was reading and it's like you can't access it till you get something in chapter 3. So
Okay.
yeah, there's a many chapters. But I just got to like an openness part of the world, but also the end of chapter 1 is where devastation hits. Like already the game hits hard because for those of you who have not played, like you go to the continent where the paintress is, and your entire team gets killed basically right on the beach for the
Oh
most part.
yeah.
Um, and then you collect a couple of party members throughout chapter 1. Lune, Mael, Sael, and you have Gustav. You collect them throughout chapter 1, and then you get to the end of chapter. You mind if I spoil things?
Yeah, because it's not Steam Deck compatible. So
So, should I not say or should I say?
no, like I have no way to play it. It's not Steam Deck
Okay.
compatible.
Yeah, so Gustav dies at the end of chapter 1. Your main character dies at the end of chapter 1. Fucking Daredevil dies at the end of goddamn chapter 1.
Oh, I knew that
Yeah.
because
He
a different
gets
character takes over, and it's the voice actor I think is actually Ben Starr.
probably that wouldn't surprise me. Ben Starr's in so much lately. But yeah, so he gets taken over by I can't remember because I literally just got him and ended right after that. But like it's crazy because like they introduce like, oh, he's from Expedition Zero, which is the very first expedition. So from when the 100 first showed up, Expedition Zero went out, and then after that, from that point on, every time she came out and lowered the number, the expedition was that number. It was Expedition 99, 98, blah blah blah, all the way down until now 33. And he's from Expedition Zero, which would make him roughly 100 years old, but he looks like he's still 40, which is like crazy. And he's got like some cool mechanics where the more you hit the enemy, he fills up a gauge, which gives him, it's called a perfection gauge. And the more you hit the enemy, it fills it up. And so all of his attacks are based on multiple hits. And then if he gets attacked, if he gets hit, it drops a level. So if you can get it up to S, you're doing like highest damage you can with some of your skills and things like that. But if you get attacked, it goes from S to A if you don't hit that dodge or that parry. Which I was just like, that's a really cool mechanic, and some of his skills are stronger or have different effects based on what ranking you're on. So one of them is like if you're rank C, it actually increases the amount of perfection you get when you use the skill and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just like the way each character runs and is like Sael is a really cool character that has a very crazy mechanic. And like it sucks. So she's got a like one of the coolest weapons with
She's
this
the
like
one with like the cool stances, right? Like
no,
where you
that's
like
Mael. That's Mael. She's the stances where you have offensive, defensive, and virtuous. And like
yeah.
depending on what ability you use, she changes her stance, and then depending on what stance she's in, could affect other abilities and stuff like that. No, Sael, you didn't get yet. You're
Okay.
right. You would have been right next to getting her. And what she has is, she uses cards. She's primarily like she has this cool looking weapon, but she's basically a caster. Um, and she plays with cards, and depending on what card the move is based on, either sun or moon, determines what like the effect is. So generally, a sun card will apply a certain number of cards onto the enemy, or forte is what they call it, I believe. And then the moon cards will use the forte that's on the enemy and deal increased damage or something like that. When you hit that enemy. So you can max out up to 10 forte normally, but if you use both sun and moon back to back, then she enters into this state where she could add 20 up to 20 forte onto an enemy, and then it's like even you deal extra damage when you're dealing damage in this mode. But it only lasts 2 turns and stuff like that. And it's really cool because she has abilities that like at first I was like, oh man, my team's gonna generally always be Lune because she's gonna have the healing because she's the caster. But now Sayo has a healing ability where she goes and attacks an enemy, and based on how many cards the enemy has, will then give healing to everyone on the team. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's a different kind of ability. I was struggling a lot with Gustav. As much as it sucks that he died and I was sad, I was struggling so much because he only had like 10 abilities to unlock. Everything else was locked behind story. And obviously it was locked behind story because they didn't fill him out because he dies. But all of his abilities take so much AP that it was next to impossible to use him very effectively, that like when it got to a point, I stopped using him entirely because every other character I had abilities that would consistently fill up their AP and were constantly at full AP after about 2 rounds, 2 to 3 rounds. And so I was like, well, there's no point in using Gustav anymore because, like, Mael, for example, like, she's almost always at 9 AP based on how I have her set up and the attacks and abilities she has and how, like, low the AP cost on her abilities are. So that I can always use her to, like, be shooting her gun and whatnot, too. And same with Lune. She has a lot of ability. She has a few abilities that will, like, increase the amount of AP she gets when she uses it. I'm like, man, they made Gustav hard to use because he was a little overpowered, but also because he's gonna die. So like there's really no point in like making him all that all that technical. But yeah, it was a bummer seeing his death. And like now I'm at a point where like a little bit more of the world opens up. I can swim in the ocean, so like I can explore more. And like the world makes you want to explore so much. I'm just like I just can't help but like just run around and get lost, finding different things here and there. I did feel at one point that I was overpowered fighting the boss before Gustav dies. Like I was able to defeat the boss in like 4 rounds, and that's two rounds per phase. I was just like, all right, I was
Okay.
able to just like almost face roll it because I was a little overpowered. But I went around and I found everything, I got everything, and I was trying to obviously min max my skills and abilities and things like that, and Yeah, it's like the whole battle system is incredible, and I just cannot talk highly enough of this game. Like to the point where the Game Awards released their nominees this
Oh,
week.
I forgot about that.
And I've been saying Game of the Year for this pretty much since I started it. Um, and one of the nominees for Best RPG is Monster Hunter Wilds, and the Monster Hunter Facebook page and Instagram shared that, and I straight up left on their comments. I was like, "You guys are nowhere near winning this. You have no possible chance of winning this Best RPG. No way in hell. You guys are funny. That's not happening." It's Expedition 33. Even if Expedition 33 weren't out this year, you still probably would not win Best RPG. But yeah, you're out of luck with that, man. But yeah, I think Expedition 33 is incredible. I'm gonna be playing it for a while since I'm only playing it twice a week. I'm gonna try to stick in and get the occasional bonus play sessions here and there, but it's just these past few weeks have been busy with. Last week I just had no energy to do anything on Saturday, but then this week we got PAX, and then next week is Thanksgiving, and then 2 weeks after that is Cookie Stream. So like, I'm not gonna have a lot of extra spare time to be able to play over the next few weeks, but I'll find it. I'll find it eventually.
And I'm sorry, I know you've actually mentioned this before. What day is your cookie stream again?
The 12th of December.
Okay, so it's a Friday.
Yes.
Okay. I thought that was the case, but
Oh,
I was not
that
100% sure.
was weird. Cloudflare was down yesterday, but the Game Awards website was taking a while to let me in through Cloudflare.
Honestly, not all that surprising.
No. I tried checking the nominees yesterday. And it wouldn't even load. All right, so that's actually it seems pretty standard. Game of the Year, Clair Obscur, Death Stranding, Donkey Kong, Hades 2, Silk
God,
Song,
I
and
forgot there was a
Kingdom
Death
Come.
Stranding sequel this year.
Yeah.
Wow. That game kind of just came and went. But
I,
anything else
I've,
about Expedition 33? Not
mm,
necessarily the Game Awards.
no, not really. I have a feeling Expedition 33 is going to sweep pretty much every category this
Yeah,
year.
I feel like it is probably the biggest game that got the most buzz. Like
Hmm.
people all over really like that game.
Yeah.
And it was really good. Like the combat was interesting. Like it had like a cool story going on.
Yeah. Best performance for voice acting and mocap. Three actors from Expedition 33 are in best performance. Three of the six. Ben Starr,
Charlie
Charlie
Cox, Ben
Cox,
Starr,
and
and somebody else.
Jennifer English, who I am assuming is male. And then you got Erika Ishii for Gosu Yotai, Konatsu Kato for Silent Hill F, and Troy Baker for Indiana Jones.
Nice. Apparently, he did a good job on Indiana Jones, which I also forgot came out this year.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't have anything else from Expedition 33. It's an incredible game. It's so good.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. And I guess moving
Thanks.
on,
Yeah, how's Pokemon's?
it was actually it was good. Like
Mhm.
they did a really nice job with that. So yeah, I finished the main story, and let's call it like 98% of the Pokedex. I have 3 left to catch. They are 3 like story Pokemon. From like post endgame stuff. It's basically 3 legendaries are all that's left to catch. I was able to get everything else. One kind of cool thing that I found out late in the game. So while having to trade is a huge pain in the ass to get like the evolutions, because that's the only thing that you're blocked from. It's just the evolution Pokemon. A handful of them actually will spawn as alpha Pokemon in some of the wild zones. So specifically Wild Zone 20, which is the last wild zone that spawns or that opens up. That's actually the wild zone where you can get all of all the starters from this game. So your Taypig, your Chikorita, and your Totodile, as well as Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle, and a handful of other Pokemon. And then in the center of that zone, 2 to 4 alpha Pokemon will spawn at any given time. And there's like 20 possible ones that spawn in there, including I have seen Alakazam and Machamp both spawn in there. So that helps a little bit with just like filling out those spots. But one thing that they did with the trading, and I forget if it was like this in Sword and Shield, because I feel like in Sword and Shield you could do random internet trades, right?
You could, yeah. I believe it might have also been in Scarlet and Violet, but I didn't really worry about full Pokedex in Scarlet and Violet because I wasn't really too thrilled with the game.
Yeah, I never did any of that with Scarlet and Violet, but in this one, you can't just random trade. Like, there's no like wonder trade or anything like that. It's either local trade with a friend, or you have to have like a trade code. I honestly don't 100% know if this is like a legitimate was built by Nintendo feature, or if this just happens to be something that like the internet figured out. But if you enter the Pokedex number for the Pokemon twice, because it's a 6-digit number, everyone in there is just trading that particular Pokemon. So if you go in there and you put in like the Pokedex entry for Scyther, people will only trade you for another Scyther, and with a metal coat, because why else would you trade a Scyther? Some people try to trade back, some people don't. So it's one of those like don't trade anything that you don't want to lose. And like I forget what, it might have been Machamp. I had a Machoke and I was trying to get a Machamp, and that was the first one I tried to do, and the person kept canceling because they were trading an alpha Machoke. So they did not want my non-alpha Machoke, which
Okay.
understandable. But like the downside to that whole like situation is there's no chat feature or anything, so you can't communicate with the person. You do get like a prompt before like you confirm, so you can make sure that the Pokemon is holding the item if it needs an item, and that it's the right Pokemon. Like if you're trying to trade to get your Machamp, or like you don't want a Rattata, which aren't even in this game, but you get the point. So there was at least a fairly straightforward way to get all of the evolution trades done. If not, like a little silly to have to like do that. So it was, especially when Arceus just had the fucking link cable, and this game just doesn't push that as much.
Again, Arceus was not online.
And this one shouldn't be either, realistically, but no one wanted it to be online, but they put it in there anyway.
Well, it's modern gaming, and it's
Yeah,
everything's going to be online. Like they were building the competitive nature, but I don't find it. I find it more of a shock that Arceus didn't have an online capability than the shock that this game does have an online capability.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. They did not make it as egregious as it could have been, but it was still like much like Arceus. This actually feels like a legitimate RPG, like a story-driven game, in a way that Pokemon games usually aren't. Like realistically, like frankly, other than X and Y, Pokemon games have very little actual narrative. Like there's a little bit with like whatever like the team is going on in that game, and a few other beats, but like for the most part, it's just go from town to town to get the badges and then go fight the champion. That's what these games are. This game has fucking cutscenes. Like they're not voice acted, which is still the dumbest fucking thing in the world. The end game, like as you're finishing the game and you're going to like the final confrontation and all this shit's happening, there are multiple cutscenes that happen. And not just like your normal like in-game like character dialogue stuff. These are like they're pre-rendered cutscenes. Like the characters look and move differently than they do in the game. And they zoom in on faces, and you watch their lips move, and then dialogue across the screen. And it is so fucking stupid because, frankly, the end of this game was actually huge. Like so much was going on. There was a lot of like emotion and stuff in it, and the game not having any dialogue, but then focusing on faces the way it did, just kind of like actually dropped a lot of the like tension and stuff for it that it built up. But that aside, like probably the best story in one of these games since X and Y. Like it took a bunch of stuff from X and Y, and expanded on it, elaborated it, like all that stuff, but also like wrapped up like some loose ends. Like you actually get something with Zygarde in this, which was never really part of X and Y because that was supposed to be like Z. Lysander, who was the head of the team from Team Flare from X and Y, is a part of this game. AZ, who was a part of X and Y, is a big part of this game, as is his Floette. And like in this game, you actually get post game, you actually get Floette. Like you get that eternal Floette, I should say.
Okay.
Which like it's the blue and white floette with the black flower that's like unique and doesn't exist anywhere else. And up until this game, it is considered an unobtainable Pokemon because you can't have it. And it's got that special ability or the special move. Like it's the giant death ray that it can do. That is like way overpowered for like such a tiny little Pokemon. But yeah, like it this game ends up touching on all the stuff that happens in X and Y because it's 5 years later, and then expands on it, and it's really well done. And I was very going in as I was apprehensive because going from Arceus where it wasn't an open world, but it was much more open because you had like that whole region was available. It was just you got each one like as the story progressed. And this game just being like, yes, we are in a city, and you're just going to be in this city the whole time. But we're going to have these little zones where the wild Pokemon are for you to go catch. Felt like it was going to just feel forced, and there wasn't going to be anything to it. But it ended up like everything made sense. The wild zones made sense. Being in the city with how big they made the city feel made sense. And the game never like it didn't like really railroad you from being able to get places, but like it slowly opened up certain parts of the game. So like there was points where I would get on the rooftops because there's buildings with either ladders or little like hover elevator things that will take you to the rooftops. And there's tons of stuff up there. Like there's places that people are like sitting down and like having like tea. There's just people up there that you can talk to. There's items. There's wild Pokemon outside of the wild zones. A random rooftop is actually one of the places where you can catch E. But at one point I saw on a rooftop Halucha, the luchador bird Pokemon.
Yeah.
But it was on a rooftop I couldn't get to. And it was like actually significantly later into the game where they finally like, oh yeah, here this hollow elevator is finally up and running for you. And you can then get up onto that rooftop and go catch that Halucha. So like you can like see stuff that like you just like that the game eventually gives to you after you like do the right set of side quests or whatnot. Now on the flip side, some of like the kind of downside to this, the introductory like tutorial side just took way too fucking long. Like it held your hand to an aggressive amount. And I understand like the game is generally meant for children, but like even this was like a bit much for just how much they held your hand through the beginning of the game. And then the side quests. Some of the side quests are actually pretty cool. They can be fun, they can be challenging. There's some where there's a series of them that take place in restaurants around the city that are like a series of battles, except you don't get any break between them and you can't use healing items. So most of them are five or it's supposed to be a 5-course meal, so it's 5 battles in a row. And generally they're not too bad. One of them, your opponent got to throw out all 3 of their Pokemon at the beginning because generally it's 3 Pokemon, the opponents, and then you can have your 6-person team. But they were literally just throwing all 3 Pokemon out at once, and you just had to fight all 3 of them at once. And the first couple of rounds, it wasn't too bad because they were all types. So like if it was all fire types, you just dropped your water Pokemon and everything was fine. But then like the 4th battle was a fucking set of evolutions. So it was Jolteon, Flareon, Vaporeon, and then the last round was like it was like a dragon, a ghost, and a fairy type. Like 3 things that like aren't impossible to beat, but they don't have any like similarities and weaknesses that you would necessarily have like one Pokemon on your team that you could use to like tank them all. And like those side quests are actually they're challenging, like because you do have to kind of think about them. Like I said, you don't get any healing items to use throughout it, so unless you have Pokemon that have like moves that heal themselves, like you might struggle near the end. But then you have a lot of side quests that are just tutorials. They're tutorials that you're getting 30 hours into the fucking, and it's one of those like it's not like all the side quests just open up. Like I was going through and like every couple of main missions, I would clear all the side quests. So like we're talking like I want to say there's about 40 main missions, maybe like 45 by the time like the end game stuff is done. And like in the 30 mission area, I'm getting the side quests that are these battles with people trying to tell me like how different moves. Like, bitch, my Pokemon are all level 80, and I'm 30 hours into this game. I don't need to know how normal type attacks work or how like healing moves work. Because it's always like one person that's like, oh yeah, like poison status effect is the best thing. So all their Pokemon are Pokemon that are like have like ways to poison you. It's like, no, that's really not that big of a deal. And those ones kind of suck. But so like, not all of it is great, but enough of it was actually like it was a lot of fun to get through. And I'm still playing it, like finishing up. Like I have a ton of the side missions I want to clear out just to get the rest of them. And I'm curious. So you get a Master Ball in this game. It's part of one of the other like kind of like side quests that like overarch the whole game. Is the CEO of like the big tech company in town basically tasks you with like a bunch of like research things to do. And every time you level up in research, you generally get like a new TM from them. And at a certain point, sorry, Benny, it's algae messing time, so Benny's excited. At a certain point, they break it up a little bit, and instead of a TM, they'll give you like the experience candies or like some other stuff. Bottle caps were one of the things I got for like level like 30. But for level, I want to say it's 50 levels. At level 49, you get a Master Ball. Level 50, you get the Shiny Charm, which is supposed to make shiny Pokemon more common. But so at level 49, you get a Master Ball. I have no fucking clue what you would use the Master Ball in this game, because from what I've seen, the 3 legendaries are all like completely catchable. Like there's nothing like especially egregious about catching. And obviously, like because this is like side content, you don't actually need the Master Ball. Like it's not like in Red and Blue where like you get the Master Ball just for defeating the Elite Four, and then you just have that for Mewtwo if you want it. This is like no, you need to know that like you are going to get this by the end. And while none of these research things are hard, some of them are just kind of stupid. Like it's a lot of catching Pokemon types, but you have to catch multiple of the same Pokemon to essentially do it. So it's like catch 50 poison type Pokemon. There's like 10. So like you have to go catch like Ekans over and over again to like hit the 50, which is like stupid, but also not that hard because
I
it's
mean,
one of those.
It's basically how they did the Pokedex in Legends Arceus.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you had to catch them multiple times to fill out the Pokedex. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and just like in Arceus, like once you at a high enough level, it's pretty easy to just run into a zone and just throw Ultra Balls and see what sticks.
Yeah.
You also get that little bit of buffer where, and I forget if Arceus was like this too, but if I go in and I do like earthquake or something, like an area, like an attack that will affect an area, or like flamethrower that technically goes past its targeted Pokemon, those moves will hit more than one Pokemon. So if you run into like an area and like there's one rooftop where Dratini spawns, and for whatever reason, all around one, I don't understand what Dratini spawns on a fucking rooftop, and two, it's surrounded by Bellsprouts. But when you run over there, if you just flamethrower the area, you flamethrower and kill all the Bellsprouts in one hit because they're all level 8, and by the time you're up there, like I was level 70. So like
Yeah.
and at that point, all of them are like on the brink of being unconscious. You can just very quickly throw Ultra Balls at all of them and catch all of them, most likely, or not all of them, most of them. And Rich, something that you will appreciate: quick balls in this game are utter garbage.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're unnecessary in a game where you can catch things without getting into combat.
Well, so here's the
Yeah.
thing, though. So if I sneak up on a Pokemon, even a low-level Pokemon, and I throw an Ultra Ball at it, there's a good chance it jumps out of that Pokeball because it's had no, like, nothing's attacked it or anything yet. If I throw a Quick Ball at that same Pokemon, that motherfucker is still just going to break out. Like, I think I maybe caught one Pokemon with a Quick Ball.
And that's
I actually had better luck with the repeat ball, the one that, like, if you've already caught a Pokemon, it's easier to catch.
So what if you got into combat with the Pokemon and then threw the Quick Ball?
Same. It's still, I had very, very little luck with it.
Honestly, that's good. I feel like with the incorporation of Quick Balls in recent and how easy it is to get them in recent Pokemon games, it's made catching Pokemon too easy. And like every Pokemon you encounter is a Quick Ball Pokemon.
Yeah, and like sometimes it's nice. Like when you are just trying to run around and just like kind of clear some stuff up, having the quick balls are great. But like you're right. Like in some of those games, it became just like it removed all of the challenge.
They shouldn't be available until after you beat the Elite Four. And then at
It,
that point, it should still be about 10,000 zenny per ball or something like
yeah,
that.
they are expensive in this game too. So you get Ultra Balls, I think, after like mission 20 or something like that, or 25. It's after one of the higher ranks. Like stuff basically unlocks as you rank up in the ZA Battle Royale thing that's going on. So I want to say it was like after your F rank matches when Ultra Balls get unlocked. Most of the like specialty balls are unlocked earlier, but they're sold at like a special store that you have to go to, and they're all more expensive. Um, Money in this game is actually too easy to come by in a weird way. So if you go into so first off, like just like in like all the other recent like open world games, there's items just all over the fucking ground. The amount of like feathers and mushrooms that I find in this game that are only good for selling is staggering. Like they don't even sell for that much. They sell for like under 500 of the Pokemon dollars. I was getting 20, 30, $40,000 because of how many of these things I had every time. But beyond that, every time you go into the battle royale thing at night, you get gold coins, and those gold coins translate to like the in-game money stuff. And so most nights, if you did anywhere from 10 to 15 battles, it doubles whatever money you make. So I would finish every night making anywhere from like $40,000 to $60,000. And if you really need money, you can just like you can sit down at benches to fast forward time and just keep going into the nighttime mode to go into the battle royale to make money and get your points for like your next ranked battle. Because there is a bunch of stuff to spend money on, like because this game, because it's like an action RPG, your Pokemon don't have like the PP stuff that you have to worry about. Where like, oh, if you don't go to a Pokemon Center eventually, like you're not going to be able to use your attacks anymore. So you end up not going to Pokemon Centers often and just using a lot of potions and revives and like full restores. And then buying stuff like buying evolution stones and the different mega stones for the evolution all get kind of expensive. And they give you a
Yeah.
handful of them as like part of the game. But like for the most part, like for most of the Pokemon that you're probably going to want in your team, you're going to have to go buy one of those stones.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was legitimately a fun game. And like I went in with some hesitation, but like everything ended up making sense. It had a like so it actually it's legitimately a Pokemon game that built up its side characters. There is a bit at the end of the game where like basically like the city's about to be destroyed. Because this game fucking escalates very quickly. And everybody that you had kind of like battled and become like friends and rivals and stuff like that with through like the midway point of the game once you ranked up to a certain level all kind of show up to help. And like that's not something that you often see in like the Pokemon games. It's usually just like, nope, you got to go do it by yourself. And like in this section it was team battles. Like you are fighting them along with like these people that you were just battling yourself like a few hours. And like it very much felt like a proper like action RPG versus like the way Pokemon games usually handle that stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, like legitimately good. I had a great time with it, and I'm glad that they did that. And I hope they do more of these Legends games. Just like I said after Arceus, like if they're going to keep making these games and making them more interesting than the mainline games, like I hope they do. Like,
Yeah, I'm sure the RCS games are going to be like they're gonna do them in between. I'm sure they have two teams working on Pokemon games, one for mainline and one for Legends games at this point. A lot of people tend to like the Legends games over the mainline games in general, from what I've been seeing.
I feel like these Legends games are skewing older. Like
Yeah.
not necessarily like adult skewing, but even if you look at like the characters themselves, they don't feel or look like kids the way they do in the mainline games. So I feel like
Hmm.
these are the games where they're adding more mechanics, more narrative, like more themes that like skew older than
Yeah.
necessarily the mainline games that definitely skew younger.
Yeah, I also think, and that's part of the reason why they are focusing, at least with this one, with more online components and competitive nature, because it's like the previous games, like yeah, they have the competitive nature, but again, they're generally kids games, whereas these ones they're gonna try to age them more for more mature audiences, and they tend to want more of the competitive and online content. Whereas if you go with the games that are built for kids, you don't want kids being online with adults. So they don't focus too much on it besides, oh, it's just a battle and trade. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, these games have legitimately been a lot of fun, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where they go from there.
Yeah, it's on my list. I'm hoping, I know I don't need a Switch 2 to play it, but I'm hoping to get a Switch 2 within the next few months. And get it when I get the Switch 2.
Nice. Yeah, like I said, there's definitely complaints to be had about it, but like overall, it is legitimately a really fun, solid one of these games.
Yeah.
And like it's got like all it's not like all the best Pokemon you necessarily want in a game, but like you're not going to have any trouble like deciding on a team, and it really doesn't lock anything away too hard. Like even your starters and stuff like that. Like very early in the game, you can get all of the Kalos starters, which like aren't the starters for this game, but like there's side quests you can do to get all three of them. Like basically as soon as the tutorials, and then not too long into the game, one of the mid-ish wild zones, they also start spawning in there. And then, like I said, there's a bunch of Pokemon that are just like hanging out on rooftops and stuff like that around the world that are surprisingly like rare stuff. Like there's a Dratini that occasionally is an alpha, and sometimes apparently a Dragonair will spawn. So like that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I like where they're like they need to make these games where the Pokemon are more like they focused a lot on that in Sword and Shield more so, I feel like, where like a lot of Pokemon were more rare. You could only catch them at certain times and whatnot. And it didn't feel like that in Scarlet and Violet, but again, I didn't try to get all the Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet because I didn't care for that game. So
yeah, I mean it's the same. Like, I never even finished it, so
yeah. Whereas like in Sword and Shield, that was like I refused to leave a zone until I had all the Pokemon I could catch at the time.
yeah, I mean Sword and Shield was the first game since maybe like Gold and Silver that I actually completed like 100%. It's like
Yeah.
we were trading back and forth for a bunch of Pokemon to make sure that we could
Yeah.
fill up.
Yeah. Like I never actually, that was the first Pokemon ever that I got the full dex on. But also I think Scarlet or Sword and Shield is outside of these Legends Pokemon, it's the best mainline Pokemon in a long time.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But enough Pokemon. How is it? How is Hazbin Hotel season 2?
I don't know the general consensus from other fans of the series, but I don't think it was as good as the first season. I think it was good. I don't think the songs were as catchy or fun, and I wasn't really all too thrilled with the story that they went with. And it was like the characters that they focused on and the storylines that they focused on, it felt like it was supposed to be the second act of a 3-act play kind of thing. Like it just, I don't know how many more seasons they're planning. Like I do know that they're signed for at least one more season, but like it was fine. It wasn't as good as the first season. Overall, like at the end of the first season, you learn that redemption is possible, like that souls in hell can redeem themselves and go to heaven. You learn that based on Serpentis going up into heaven after he sacrificed himself. In this one, like it follows like about a month after the first one, the new hotel is fully built, and it's just all about a demon, the TV demon Vox, just breaking down the hotel and breaking down everyone's belief in Charlie to be able to do what she says she can do. And like I didn't really care for Vox in the first season. You didn't get a lot of him. The first season was mostly focused on what the hotel is supposed to do and the incoming doom of the extermination coming early. This season was like, oh well, we now know the extermination isn't going to happen anymore, and we can kill angels. So it's one demon taking their opportunity to take over hell and essentially potentially try to take over heaven. And like it didn't hit with me as much. And like I said, I think part of it, like I said, was like the songs I don't think were as catchy or as good in this season as they were in the first. They were still good, just not as good. But like, yeah, I feel like I need to give it a rewatch, or at least give the album for this season a listen to see if maybe I'll catch on to them a little bit more. But like the first season album, I would listen to consistently. This one, like, I don't remember many of the songs. They just weren't. They didn't really stick out. And like the final episode of the season had one song that was like 7 minutes long, and that's it. Which like normally it's like 2 songs per episode. Yeah, like,
Oh wow.
I don't think it was bad. It's comparing it to the previous season. I don't think it was as good.
So what I'm hearing is it was bad. Drew,
No.
are you hearing that?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
So
No.
absolute garbage.
Compared to the previous season, it's just not as good. It's still good, just not as good. And it's a bummer because it's a really good series. It's got some really cool themes and some really good songs, and it's nice to see like someone whose passion project was this YouTube cartoon that they made like one episode of, and it was picked up by Amazon because people petitioned it for it enough or whatever. Like, it's cool to see like small creators getting put onto such a big network, but I'm afraid that potentially its fame got ahead of it. And like what people loved about the first season, like they focused too much on building out this world than focusing more on what people loved about the first season. I also am afraid that like maybe because a lot of it was a bit of shock value of some of the lyrics or themes of some of the main characters, that like maybe that shock value might have like dissipated a bit, and they didn't really focus on those. Like there just wasn't a lot of character building in the entire series. Like, one of the best songs, in my opinion, from season 1 is a song called Loser, where it's literally one character telling another one, like, look, you're a loser, but like, we're all losers and we all suck. And we just gotta do the best we can to get through life kind of stories. And like, it's like one of the catchier songs. It's one of the like the more notable songs. It's one of the songs that like so many people love. And like, there wasn't any like major character development songs like that in this one. So I don't know. It was weird. It was a little too different than the first season.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Absolute trash. Got it. So I will skip
No.
this show.
No, it's definitely still worth watching. Like, it's worth watching. Like I said, it's good. It's just, I don't think it was as good as first season.
It's good, but it's trash.
No, not trash. Not trash. You don't want to say that, because then we'll get the Hazbin Hotel people coming at us. And there's a lot of them, okay? There's a lot of them. They may be about the same number of Hazbin Hotelers as there are Swifties. Like, you got to be careful with that.
It's fine. Totally.
Well,
fine.
yeah, that's it. It was what is it? 8 episodes. So they released it over the last 4 weeks. 2 episodes a week, and yeah, the last one aired today, and it just, there was nothing. It's nothing to write home about, unfortunately, kind of thing. Like, I enjoyed it, but I liked the first season so much.
From what I remember of the first season had moments, but I wasn't super into it.
The first season had a lot of like.
Sarah had me watch it because Sarah watched it like 10 times.
Yeah, the first season had like a lot of good moments and a lot of good like storytelling and like building of the world in a good way. And just like, again, like the songs hit more in that. And like, one of the things is like this season they had friggin' what's his name, Patrick Stump, like the lead dude of fucking Fall Out Boy. He was a voice actor and he had one song, or maybe like 30 seconds of a song, not even. Like, you're gonna have the lead singer of Fall Out Boy, and he's not gonna have any songs? What is that choice?
Yeah.
And then like it had some decent moments, but it's just nothing. Like, it just all felt too much like they were trying to make it too broad, and it was all about breaking down what they built. And that, to me, I was like, that's kind of like, you spent an entire season building this up, and now you're spending an entire season breaking it back down, just for it to all turn around at the very last 5 minutes of the season. That's it's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of a bummer. Like, it would be one thing if this were like the 4th or 5th season in, and that was something that was being sown throughout all 5 seasons. But for them to build it in season 1 and break it down in season 2 just to bring it right back up at the end of season 2, yeah, it's like I don't know. It was weird storytelling.
That does sound a little weird.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really all I got. I'm gonna have to listen to the soundtrack of the second season a few times, and like I don't remember many songs. Like, I'm gonna have to listen to it again and see if like I remember what episodes these songs are in. I wonder if the second season's up yet.
Well, it was trash, so you're not going to.
It looks
Anything
like
else you want to say about it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it looks like, yeah, season 2 is the season 2 album is up on all platforms. 20 songs. No way there was 20 songs in this season.
I mean, looking at the Wikipedia, there's 3 songs. I mean, again, whether or not they do the full song in the episodes or not, but there's 3 songs an episode in episodes 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes
and
sense.
And then 2 in episode 1 and 1 in the last episode.
Yeah. No, I don't really have anything else to say about it.
Nice. Well, I am also finding that I'm coughing more, so I think I'm going to hold off on Wednesday and Only Murders in the Building until next week. It's been an hour and a half, so that's a good show.
Yeah, we all gotta rest up for PAX. You gotta recover so you can go to PAX.
Yeah, I still just had like some congestion going on, but like I feel like significantly better than I did last week.
Oh, I've been dealing with sinus shit over the past few days. Like, my headache yesterday, it was off and on today. I've been like shoving saline spray up my nose all day trying to clear that shit out. I don't want to be feeling like crap at PAX.
That's the right call.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess with that said, it's going to do it for this week.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you would like to find more of our content, you can head over to www.one-quest.com. You can also help us out by supporting us at patreon.com/onequest. If you can't support us there with your dollars, though, you can go to your favorite podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify. Rate us, review us, subscribe to us. All of it helps. You can also find us on social media, facebook.com/onequestonline or at @1_quest on Instagram and Twitter. And our Blue Sky is at one-quest.com. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/onequestvideo, and you can always send us an email to social@one-quest.com. Rich, what does your streaming look like?
Twitch.tv/b_walnuts for video game streaming, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Expedition 33, Sea of Thieves, Date Everything, Repo. I might get RV there yet, because that game just looks incredibly silly and fun. And play that on Tuesdays. Just all that stuff. And then, of course, like I said, December 12th, Friday, December 12th, all day, usually starting around like 9 or 10 o'clock. I'll be baking cookies live on stream, and you can potentially win a box of cookies if you come and donate. We are doing donations this year through Tiltify, which is a third-party app, not through using bits and whatnot, so your donations will go directly towards the charity and not to me and then to the charity.
What are you going for this time?
Fill abundance.
Nice.
To try to feed people, because everything's fucking expensive nowadays. So people need food. People need food. So that's what we're doing this year. So come hang out.
Awesome. All right. Well, with that, we will be back next week with something else to talk about. Thanks for listening. Bye.
See yous.